Good morning. It's Wednesday, November 5th. Here's what we're working on.
Mr. Speaker, the budget I present today comes at a time of profound change, a time to build.
Canada's finance minister unveils Canada's strong 2025 budget to boost growth and self-sufficiency.
GO train service resumed last night after a pedestrian was killed by a freight train.
And Shane Bieber opts in to stay with the Toronto Blue Jays. Good morning. Happy Wednesday. It is so great to still be on the desk. Of course, Annette is away for this week. She'll be back on Monday. But Brian, I was keeping an eye out for that big moon in the sky, and I couldn't see it. It was covered by the clouds.
Yeah. Cloud cover, that was the problem that I mentioned yesterday. There was that chance of the clouds rolling in throughout the overnight and not really being able to see it. Some areas had some clear skies, some breaks in the cloud cover, and were able to see that big, beautiful moon that we couldn't see, unfortunately. Yeah, it was the super moon last night. It was the moon that was closest to the Earth, actually the biggest looking moon for the entire year. But yeah, the clouds rolled in, and those clouds today are going to stay with us, and we could get some showers a little later on today. But there's a special weather statement in effect for all of the Horseshoe and a lot of southern Ontario, talking about the winds today. The cold front is going to go through. That'll kick in the winds to, well, southwest to about 60, but then the winds shift around to the northwest, pull in the cooler air, and they could gust 70 to 80 kilometers an hour later on today. So be aware of some strong winds later today, but it's going to be another mild day. Yesterday we got to 14. Today we should hit 13 degrees, but yeah, the showers are going to start to roll in. Nothing just as yet. We'll talk about the forecast. By the way, we're sitting at 8 degrees right now. That's almost a seasonal daytime high for this time of year. So it's a mild start. Talk about that coming up. Traffic this morning, 403 and Waterdown Road. That's our exclusive camera. Nothing to see there. Getting word of a collision a little further along at the Plains Road exit, a collision there, but I don't have any cameras, unfortunately, there. So let's go to some MTO traffic cameras. Millen Road, Stony Creek, nothing there. Stony Creek's doing fine. The Niagara Peninsula is doing fine. Top of the Skyway Bridge, nothing. All the way through east of Bronte. No problems right now. So take it carefully, please, as you usually do. We'll look at weather and traffic coming up right now. The news.
Thanks, Brian. Canada's finance minister has unveiled the Carney government's plan to drive economic growth and make the country more self-sufficient through its so-called Canada Strong budget. Tessa Bennett joins us live from downtown Hamilton with a breakdown of the numbers. Good morning, Tessa.
Good morning, Simone. In his speech to Parliament yesterday, Finance Minister Francois-Philippe Champagne seemed to contrast the Conservatives, saying this budget chooses generational investments over scaling back certain supports for Canadians. The 406-page document outlines Prime Minister Mark Carney's plan for billions in proposed cuts and investments meant to spur growth and productivity in Canada against the backdrop of a trade war and a slowing economy. There were no major surprises when it came down to the numbers, though the deficit was slightly lower than economists had projected, coming in at about $78 billion. $141 billion will be spent over the next 5 years, offset by cuts and savings.
We will build here at home stronger industries, nation-building infrastructures, and millions of more homes for Canadians. We will protect what matters most, our people, our communities, and our sovereignty. And we will empower Canadians by making life more affordable, creating new career opportunities, and ensuring every generation can get ahead. This is how we win. This is how we keep winning, Mr. Speaker.
Investment in infrastructure and defense took center stage, along with some major cuts to the public sector. The government also says it's supercharging growth to make investment in Canada's economy more competitive than in the U.S. The opposition parties are now weighing whether or not they'll choose to support this bill when it's up for vote later this month. For now, I'm going to send it back inside to you, Rick.
Thank you, Tessa. Nova Scotia MP Chris D'Entremont has crossed the floor, leaving the Conservatives to join the Liberal Party. He says the government's new budget aligns more closely with the priorities of his riding. The switch brings the Liberals within 2 seats of a majority, a move that's drawn sharp criticism from Conservative MPs. Deputy Leader Melissa Lantsman accused D'Entremont of abandoning the mandates his voters sent him to Ottawa to uphold.
A pedestrian has been killed after being struck by a freight train near the Aldershot GO station in Burlington. Halton police say the person was pronounced dead at the scene yesterday afternoon, and the death is not considered suspicious. No details have been released about the individual's identity. The incident shut down service on GO Transit's Lakeshore West line for several hours while police investigated. Service has since returned to normal.
Police are searching for 3 men after a home invasion on the mountain in broad daylight. Happened at around 1:30 Monday afternoon on Ferry Crescent. Police say a woman was alone inside the home at the time.
68-year-old female exited the rear of her property to let her dogs out. About 4 minutes later, 2 suspects entered through that same door that she had opened for her dogs, and they assaulted the victim, and they stole a considerable amount of valuables from the property, from the residence. The suspects weren't in the residence very long, and they fled the property to a waiting vehicle. In my knowledge and experience as an officer, I would say that they had some information and they had been watching.
Police say the value of stolen items is in the tens of thousands of dollars. The first suspect was wearing a white face mask, blue jacket and black pants, along with black gloves and a black backpack. The second man was also wearing a white face mask, blue jacket and black pants, along with gloves and gray shoes. They were last seen leaving in a dark blue or gray Chevrolet Cruze driven by a third man. He's described as heavy-set with dark hair, a darker complexion, and was wearing a reflective vest. Police are asking anyone with information or surveillance video to contact them or Crime Stoppers.
The repeat offender parole enforcement squad is asking for help locating 49-year-old Jason Kane. He's wanted on a Canada-wide warrant for a breach of his statutory release. Kane is known to visit Hamilton, Brantford, and Toronto. He's described as white, 5'8", about 160 pounds. He has several tattoos, including a cross on his right arm, or rather right hand, and a Grim Reaper on his left arm. If you have any information on his whereabouts, you're being urged to call police. Hamilton police have arrested a man after he was spotted in the backyard of a student housing residence on Bond Street South. The report said the man had disabled the backyard light. 53-year-old George Brand of no fixed address is facing multiple charges, including trespassing and criminal harassment. He remains in custody for a bail hearing. Ever wonder what happens to the merchandise made for the losing team in the World Series? Well, it's donated to charity. Since 2017, MLB has partnered with Good 360 to redirect unsold championship gear to nonprofits supporting communities around the world. This year, the Toronto Blue Jays merchandise will go to Serve International, which distributes items to communities in the Caribbean, Central America, East Africa, and South America. The program provides new apparel to low-income communities while ensuring it doesn't negatively impact local economies. The charity has a similar agreement with the NFL following the Super Bowl.
Sportsline and big news late last night. It didn't take long for the Blue Jays to lock up one of their impending free agents. Shane Bieber is staying in Toronto after he picked up his $16 million player option for 2026 instead of testing free agency. Toronto acquired the 30-year-old from Cleveland at the trade deadline, and he started 7 games in the regular season. Bieber helped the Jays win Game 3 of the ALCS against Seattle and won Game 4 of the World Series against the Dodgers. Toronto's remaining free agents are Bo Bichette, Max Scherzer, Chris Bassett, Sir Anthony Dominguez, Isaiah Kiner-Falefa, and Ty France. Well, the Raptors not only won their 3rd straight game last night against the Bucks, they handed Milwaukee its most lopsided loss of the season. R.J. Barrett and Scotty Barnes each scored 23 points as the Raps roughed up Milwaukee 128-100 in what was Toronto's biggest margin of victory this season. Giannis Antetokounmpo scored 22 points for the Bucks. The defending champion Thunder extended their season-opening winning streak to 8 games by outclassing the Clippers 126-107. Hamilton's Shai Gilgeous-Alexander had 30 points and 12 assists, marking the 80th game in a row in which he scored at least 20 points, passing the great Oscar Robertson. It's the third longest streak in NBA history behind only Wilt Chamberlain, who holds the top 2 streaks of 126 and 92 consecutive games with at least 20 points. WNBA's Toronto Tempo have named their first head coach.
Just to see the passion of the fans and the city and the support that they give their teams, I think that's great, and it's fun to be a part of. And it's great that you said that they support women's sport, because that's so big. That's dear to my heart.
Sandy Brondello will coach the expansion Tempo in their inaugural season next year. The 57-year-old Australian led the New York Liberty to the 2024 League Championship and won it all with Phoenix in 2014 when she was named Coach of the Year. Stars beat the Oilers 4-3 in a shootout, but Edmonton's Leon Draisaitl scored a sweet shootout goal, showing off a vintage move made famous by Hall of Famer Peter Forsberg. Wyatt Johnston had 3 assists and scored the shootout winner for Dallas.
Towards the area. Can they get it right again? Abdu. Oh, she's done it again. My goodness me. How do you stop Latifa Abdu? Ottawa need to figure this out, because the Rise lead by 2-0.
Latifa Abdu scored twice in the first half to lead the Vancouver Rise to a 2-1 win over Ottawa Rapid FC in the first leg of their Northern Super League semifinal. Second leg goes Saturday in Ottawa. The other semifinal is AFC Toronto up 2-0 on Montreal, heading into Sunday's second match. The first NSL Championship match will be held November 15th at BMO Field. Tiger Cats returned to the practice field yesterday as they get set to host Montreal in the CFL's East Final on Saturday.
As I get older, I know these games are fewer and farther between, so there's not more urgency. I'm going to attack the game the same way, and I would hope everybody in that locker room does as well, no matter what their age or status is in their career. It's our job to go out and attack the game for what it is. You can't make it bigger than it is. You got to go out there and play football and not make the moment too big. You got to be excited about the lights, excited about playing at home in front of your fans, and excited that a team's going to come here and try and take it from you.
The Cats went 2-0 against Montreal this season, but did not face quarterback Davis Alexander this year, who's won a CFL record 12 straight starts to begin his career.
6:12 already. Here we go into this Wednesday morning, the 5th morning of November. Let's check what's happening on the roads. The problem that we had at the Plains Road exit on the 403 is now gone, but we have a new problem. Here's the 403 right around Waterdown Road, our exclusive camera. There's nothing to see right there, but a little further back, 403 heading out of Hamilton at the Highway 6 exit. Yes, we have a collision there now, and it's blocking the right lane. Unfortunately, we don't have a shot there that we can show you. Let's go to some MTO traffic cameras, and we'll start in the Niagara area. The Garden City Skyway East camera in St. Catharines, nothing. Millen Road, Stony Creek still looks good. Here's the 403 west of King, so Toronto-bound lanes coming towards us out of Hamilton. Okay there. East of Royal Windsor, all the way through Etobicoke Creek, doing fine so far today, except that one problem on the 403 out of Hamilton at the Highway 6 trying to go up to Clapson's Corners. That's the one problem. Okay, let's get to temperatures that we have at the moment. Temperature right now has just gone up a degree. We're now at a seasonal daytime high for this time of year. That's how mild it is to start the day. We're at 9 degrees right now. Winds are light, humidity comfortable, 76, but it's cloudy, and unfortunately that obscured that beautiful moon, the full moon this morning, last night. So for school today, we should hit 13 degrees, chance of showers. We had a chance of a thunderstorm, but it looks like it's going to go by us, but the wind today is going to be the story. Southwest 30 gusting to 60, then it's going to shift around to the northwest and gust to 70 to 80 kilometers an hour right around the horseshoe. And the reason for that is that low pressure system approaching. The cold front is going to go through, switch around the winds, pull in that chillier air, and you'll notice it. It's going to be a lot cooler as we continue through toward the weekend. Today, temperatures mild, 13, 14 degrees, and there's that shower activity settling in. It'll be later on this afternoon that we get the showers, and then tonight they could linger into the evening, but it's going to be a fair bit cooler. Temperatures 2 and 3 degrees tonight, and then tomorrow Yeah, cooler than today. 8 and 9 degrees. That's all we're going to get to tomorrow. Bit of sun. We'll call it a mainly cloudy sky. Chance of an early morning shower, and then we could see that little bit of sunshine. So 5th of November, out the door this morning. It is cloudy. We have light winds so far. Temperature up to 9. So we'll look long range in the forecast coming up. Simone, Rick.
Thanks, Brian. Well, coming up after the break, it's been so long, but we're going to be finally saying good morning to Emily Vukovic with a preview of what's to come in Chit Chat. Stay with us. And also coming up, the summer labor stoppage weighed heavily on Air Canada's third quarter results. We'll have that as well just after the break. And let's say good morning to Emily Vukovic. Welcome back. It's so good to see you again.
Hi, it is very good to be back. The alarm clock, not so much.
Yeah.
But seeing you guys, absolutely.
Oh, well, what do we have coming up in Chit Chat?
Well, Kim Kardashian has a beef with ChatGPT, and we will talk about why and how. Ted Danson finds his next juicy undercover case in A Man on the Inside too. And could Canada be heading to Eurovision thanks to the federal government? All of that coming up.
Awesome. Can't wait. Thank you, Emily. We'll talk to you a little bit. All right, heading over to some business news and overseas trading. The Canadian dollar is down 13 to 70.7 cents US. Gold is up $14 an ounce, and oil is also up 44 cents a barrel. In midday trading, the European markets are down. London, Frankfurt, and Paris all showing declines this hour.
Asian markets, they saw a huge drop in Tokyo, down slightly in Hong Kong, but up a bit in Shanghai. And at the close yesterday, the TSX dropped significantly by almost 500 points. The Nasdaq was down 251, the Dow dropped 486.
Air Canada's third quarter results were hit hard by this summer's labor stoppage. The Montreal-based airline posted a profit of $264 million. That's down from just over $2 billion during the same period last year. In August, a 3-day strike by 10,000 flight attendants forced the airline to shut down operations and cancel more than 3,000 flights.
Financial transaction company Interac says it's launched a new offering that gives Canadians more ways to pay for online purchases, including directly through their bank account. The company says the Connect payment solution is gradually being rolled out with Staples.ca as its first client. For now, access is limited to customers who bank at BMO, National Bank of Canada, RBC, Scotiabank, or TD Canada Trust. The option allows shoppers to pay through their debit or credit cards or directly from their checking, savings, or line of credit accounts.
Chrysler, which is part of automaker Stellantis, is recalling hundreds of thousands of Jeep plug-in hybrid vehicles due to a battery problem that could cause a fire. More than 20,000 vehicles are being recalled in Canada, while another 320,000 are being recalled in the States and another 30,000 from other markets around the world. Chrysler says there have been 19 fires and 1 injury potentially related to the battery problem. Impacted models include certain Jeep Wranglers made between 2020 and this year, as well as Jeep Grand Cherokees with model years 2022 to 2026.
DeRosay Automotive Consultant says vehicle sales in October were healthy, despite being down 1.8% compared with the same month last year. The firm estimates 159,000 vehicles were sold in October. DeRosay says October 2024 provided a tough comparable because auto sales in that month were inflated as many people in Quebec rushed to get electric vehicles before that province reduced EV incentives.
Chinese tour groups are set to return to Canada after Beijing lifted a 5-year travel restriction. Tour operators say the decision will give a major boost to tourism economies, particularly in British Columbia and Alberta. The policy shift comes after Prime Minister Mark Carney met with Chinese President Xi Jinping in South Korea, where the two leaders discussed improving relations on the sidelines of a trade summit. However, travel industry experts note that challenges remain, including slow visa processing times and a reduced number of flights compared to pre-pandemic levels. Taking a break right now on your Wednesday, Brian will be back with your traffic and your 7-day forecast.
Well, Welcome back to Morning Live. Time check 6:23 on this Wednesday morning. Looking at we'll start with the skyways. The Garden City Skyway West camera looks good. Nothing in St. Catharines. Top of the Burlington Skyway Bridge already getting slow, and that's getting to be normal volume this time of the morning. Heading Toronto bound east of Broady looks good. Nothing at Lorne Park, and we're even fine on the 403 at Burnham Thorpe. Speaking of the 403, the collision we had at the Highway 6 North exit to go to Clapson's Corners is now gone. Let's get to temperatures. Temperatures this morning, 9 degrees, Hamilton, Grimsby, and Mississauga. It is a mild start. 8 for Toronto at the moment. Seasonal temperatures now, 9 for the daytime high, +1 for the overnight low, sun times and records for today. And yeah, it looks like we'll get some showers today. Not this morning. For school today, we should be 10 degrees for the first bell, 13 for after school, and that's when the showers, we could get those on and off throughout the day. We mentioned off the top that Hamilton really couldn't see the super moon last night, the beaver moon, but this shot was taken from the Port Dover Pier by John yesterday afternoon about 5:15, so we're able to see that beaver moon in that area last night. So let's check the long range forecast. So today we said 13 degrees, so another mild day today. 3 overnight. We could still get some showers into the evening. Tomorrow a lot cooler, 8 degrees, but still around seasonal. We could get a shower early in the morning. Otherwise, a mainly cloudy sky. Showers again Friday. Saturday for the football game, cloudy and 6 degrees, so on the cool side. 5 and showers Sunday. And then look at the temperatures for Monday and Tuesday. 1 only on Monday, and Tuesday we're sitting at 3. That's your forecast. Simone, Rick.
Thank you, Brian. Now, this is something you don't see every day. A golden toilet is about to make a splash at auction, literally.
The fully functional, solid 18-karat gold commode is a work of art titled America by Maurizio Catalone, the same artist who famously sold a $6.2 million banana that was duct taped to a wall. Sotheby's describes the golden toilet as a satirical commentary on the art worlds, the U.S., and what we value. The Golden Throne first drew 100,000 visitors to New York's Guggenheim Museum in 2016, where guests were invited to take a seat. The toilet will go up for auction November 18th with a starting bid tied to the current gold market, around $10 million, making it one of the priciest restroom renovations ever. My question is, yes, would you use it if you had the money to buy such a thing?
I feel like if you do have that money, you would have to use it. It has to be fully functional in your house.
Well, absolutely.
I mean, I have to go over that house if they do have it.
Just to use it, or just to see it?
Just to see it.
Would you take a picture of it too?
Yeah, I'll let you guys know once I have it. All right, stay with us. Plenty more Morning Live coming up after the break. Good morning.
Now the question is, did you do number 2?
No.